matchup with Rozenstruik, I mean, you were struggling. I mean, last couple of times I spoke to you, you were struggling to get a fight. He wasn't really on your radar, right? Because he was still kind of climbing. Are you surprised to see how fast he's climbed and that you're facing him? Like, was he a name that you expected to face at all?
Um, Obviously, it wasn't the one that I was expected, but they wanted me to, they wanted him to fight me, and that's why they make it claim so fast. So I mean, the guy with went from what the rank 40, he was ranked 14 or 13 to number 5. Basically, with that fight, the fight that he had against Alistair Overeem, so it was clear that they just wanted to push him up and to make that fight happen. But I couldn't take a risk to turn down to say no. Basically, as I've been asking for fight, So yeah, it wasn't the fight. It's not the fight that I wanted, but it's still a fight.
And I know, of course, you wanted the title shot. And before we talk about like Stipe and DC, would have you preferred Volkov? I know you wanted that fight. Would have you rather gotten Volkov? I know they didn't really offer it to you, but would have you preferred to fight someone like Volkov?
Uh, Realistically, Volkov was the one making sense, but Volkov has been turning down a fight several times. So, and Rosenstruck was obviously calling me out, which is something that uh, doesn't happen often.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least with Rosenstruck, you know for a fact that the fight gonna happen, but with Volkov, you don't know. So, I just do whatever is what is my preference, title fight. Otherwise, the rest is just a fight.
Of course, and have you been impressed with Rozenstruik? Did you watch his last fight against Overeem? Obviously, he was down on the scorecards and he had that incredible comeback within the last 10 seconds. Have you been impressed in general with his rise in the UFC?
No, I haven't seen nothing to impress me. Obviously, uh, regarding that fight against Overeem, I mean he got beat up the entire fight, and he got lucky at the end of the fight, basically by the early stoppage of the referee, who, in my opinion, was early, but you know he gave him the win, and he gave him the win. So, but honestly, I have like his UFC career, nothing to impress. I haven't seen nothing. But without being saying, it's not to underestimate him because he was a kickboxer, and he has some good hands. So he knows striking, his striking game. Now let's find out what he knows about MMA.
And Rozenstruik, like for you, you wanted the title shot, of course, and now you're forced to take another fight. Does it motivate you a little bit that he called you out? Like you said, you're not used to it. He called you out, and he's saying he's going to knock you out. Does that give you a little bit of motivation, that extra motivation, at least that you have an opponent that's kind of trying to taunt you and saying he's going to knock you out and calling you out, something that you're not used to?
No, I mean, not like motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I will be motivated for the title fight than this one, definitely. Um, so, but it's still a fight, and every fight has to be taken in consideration. Uh, so yeah.
And like last I spoke to you was months ago, and still the heavyweight title fight has not been set. I mean, June has been mentioned ages ago, but it doesn't seem like they've taken a step forward, at least not in the public eye. Are you surprised to see that the title fight has still not been made between DC and Stipe? And do you think that maybe it won't happen after all? Like, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, about that, I don't even know what to think anymore. I mean, we can stay here, speculate, uh, like assume whatever we want to, but only the USA know what. Uh, uh, Only the USA's know what. will happen exactly, and when would that happen? I mean, I'm not surprised. The only thing is like it's kind of like just bizarre to be like in the division that the title is not running. It's the title is stuck. So we don't even know like when gonna if it's gonna happen or when. Maybe maybe in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, or when we don't know. And then like being right around there, expecting it, it's kind of like stressful thing. So I don't want to think about it anymore. Or at least now I have something to focus on, even though it's not exactly what I wanted. But yeah, I stay focused on Rosenstruck, and that keeps my mind busy for now.
Definitely. And another thing that's been occupying your mind is boxing. I saw your prediction. You called it Tyson Fury by knockout. Did the fight itself play out the way you expected it to? Were you surprised to see Tyson Fury have such a dominant performance like that?
No, I mean, obviously, I think Walter didn't show up as I was expected. I mean, I think something wasn't right with him. I believe that. But regardless, I know for fact that Tyson Fury will win this fight. I mean, I can sense it. Like the way he fought the first time, and he's been good, and he shows up at the weigh heavier than ever, and people was like, "Well, but we are not sure." Then I'm like, "You guys are mistaken. It's clear that he has been working on his power, like muscles, to see how powerful he's gonna be on this fight. He's ready. The man put everything on point and he's ready. He's going this time to knock him out. And when the fight started, when the fight started, you could have seen that like he was going forward. He was going for it. Like no doubt on his mind, he was going to knock Wilder out.
Right after the fight, you posted that image, Ngannou versus Fury. Let's go. You mentioned Fury in the past before, like before he won this fight. Is it Fury specifically that you want to fight when you envision yourself boxing? Is he the guy, or is it like fighting a big name in general, or competing in a boxing match in general?
Competing in the boxing match in general. But as you said, Fury and I, we have some little story together, and then it was time to call because he was the first calling me out about MMA and stuff and everything. So yeah, and like once again, and basically now the man stands as the after his fight yesterday, he stand as the best heavyweight. Uh, no argument about that. He stand as the best heavyweight boxing right now. I mean, for someone looking for to box, you definitely have to go through him to prove that you're good or the best.
And would you not want like a tune-up fight if you think about boxing? I mean, obviously Zuffa Boxing is coming into the picture. We're not sure exactly what the plans are with Dana White and Zuffa Boxing, but obviously it could be something interesting for the UFC fighters. But would you not want like a tune-up fight? Not a tune-up fight. There is no tune-up fight, but like maybe not the best, the number one guy, or like for you, you go straight for Tyson Fury.
You know, at this point, I'm not about many things. I mean, I know for fact that I'm gonna do few boxing match in the um, I'm gonna do a few boxing match. I don't know if it's what needs to fight Tyson. I'm not just about like a one shot, I'm not just like a big fight, one big fight. I want to make my own little statement in boxing um, career.
So you're thinking like multiple boxing matches, not like maybe McGregor. He had that one fight with Floyd Mayweather. Was like
No, no. I'm thinking about multiple boxing match, like uh, like straight boxing match. Yeah.
And how do you think, like in terms of your MMA career, would you be doing both at the same time, or how do you envision this happening?
Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how. Uh, let's see what is on in the table. What would be more attractive?
Good point. And Tyson Fury talked about MMA. He seemed pretty serious. He trained with Darren Till. Did you see those videos with him training with Darren Till, doing some MMA? And what did you think?
Yeah, I saw that. But once again, I don't know if it was for him to be to make his show, as he's a showman, or if he's really meant it. But let's see what's happened. I'm here. That's the point. I'm not. I'm going nowhere. So if it's about to happen, it will happen.
What do you think a win over Rozenstruik? Where does it take you? I mean, you wanted the title shot before the Jair fight. Is it safe to say that you're just gonna wait? Hopefully by then, maybe they will have announced the heavyweight title fight. If they don't, is the plan like if you beat Rozenstruik just to wait, like no more fights? You're not gonna take any more fights.
So um, there's something like that I found out. I mean, as a UFC fighter, you're trapped in the contract. They have this policy that they own a right of everything to decide if you fight or not. If you turn down a fight, they can extend you. I mean, unless I get that right, no, I don't want. I don't want to be there, stay there, waste my time, and being expecting for some title fight or whatever. I just want to fight, maybe fight through my contract, and then set up a new contract with the new terms that works for me.
As in maybe like guarantee you a title shot, like if you were, because I look at the fight between you and Rozenstruik as
I mean, I'm not chasing a ghost right here, Farah, because like going to guarantee a title shot. I mean, like in the right world, title shot should not be like something that has to be guaranteed. It will just be something like, okay, if the athlete deserve it, if he's put himself in the spot for it, then he get it. I mean, there is not magical. It's not like a favor. It's not like something you work for. You deserve it. I mean, somebody has to. You have to work to get there. You know. So yeah, and then if you get at the point that you're gonna get like title shot in the contract, no base in your performance, so it's no longer fun anymore. It's not the same feeling anymore, you know. So yeah, I mean, doing MMA for me at first it started to be fun, and as soon as it's not fun anymore, I don't find fun in it anymore. So it's not good, you know.
fair enough.
No good.
Fair enough. I
Like
mean,
we all know that like if fighter fight his way up to the top contender, he would deserve the title shot. That's obvious. That's how things should work. You don't have to. You don't necessarily need to mention it in the contract. At this point, that means something wrong.
I agree. I agree. I mean, if anyone's been performing to deserve a title shot, it's you. I'll leave you with one last one. How do you envision your fight with Jair going down? Do you have a prediction for the fight?
The way that I see this fight goes is me knocking him out, knocking him out.
Okay. Do you have a prediction? A lot of your knockouts come early. Are you expecting a round one knockout?
Uh, no, you'll rather be round one or round two. I don't know. So I hope it's good enough to pass round one because round one I will just take to set up.